everyone, this is Angelica. Thank you for watching this video today. Today's video is going to be me telling you about something that's going to sound really strange to you. It's going to sound something like you've never heard before. And I feel it's important to share these things with you all because if you are going through an awakening, you already feel really strange and weird and different. And to add any more, interesting, crazy stuff to it, it can be hard. But if you are going through a spiritual awakening, you know what those strange things are for you. And you probably know that it's helpful to hear that other people have been through strange things. So I'm just going to let you in on some stories about my awakening, what has happened to me, the strange things that occurred, and why now I try to really focus in on practical spirituality. Well, as practical as it can get. I have my North Node in Virgo. So having my North Node in Virgo means that I'm supposed to be taking my spiritual gifts and my spiritual information and putting them into kind of a grounded, earthy process, a structured process. Now, that's really difficult because spirituality is really hard to define in itself, but I like to keep it grounded and on earth so that we can actually utilize it. So I came here with my South Node in Pisces, meaning I actually came to Earth with a wealth of spiritual knowledge. It's just like my second nature to feel like off in another realm or in a different dimension. And it's like, it seems so much easier just to go there than be here on Earth. But since you have to follow your North Node calling, you have to move into that. So I like to stay grounded. I like to stay in my body. For 30 years of my life, I was not in my body. Now I'm going to be 36 next year, and I can say that I've been in my body for the past 6 years or so. Okay, so, and it's helped me tremendously. It's been really good. So wherever your North Node is, those are your, your things. But so my whole goal in creating videos and talking to you about these things is to create, in a sense, heaven on earth. So Pisces being like heaven. Well, Pisces is mutable, but let's just do the higher nature of Pisces being, heaven, and then earth being Virgo. So merging those two together and actually creating heaven on earth. It's my mission. So let me tell you a story about how I developed and, in a sense, received my healing abilities. And I think this story will be very helpful for you to hear so that you don't feel alone if weird stuff happens to you, because it's quite normal on this path. And even though I said, like, I have always kind of been spiritual, I've just always related well to those types of things, but there's a point where things can get so strange and so weird that it's just a little bit too much. And so that's what I'm going to explain to you now. So I do energy healing sessions, and I've been asked a lot, like, what is that? Is that like Reiki? People want to know what is it that I do when I do my energy healing sessions. So it's none of that. It's something that I feel like it was already in my DNA to be a healer. And then at the same time, I was gifted some kind of energetics during my awakening in order to push these things through further so that I could actually utilize them. And I'm wearing my rainbow shirt today just to emphasize the points that I'm going to be talking about in this video. So it started off when I was about 21, and this is before I went through my full awakening. I was about 21. I had my first little baby, and I was coming out of being like a complete wreck as my family and my situation. I just didn't really have any kind of direction that made any sense. Anyway, I was interested in massage therapy, and so I was so excited to be able to go to massage therapy school. I think it was like a year and a half, and you go and you learn all the different modalities. So I'm a I am a certified massage therapist, actually licensed in Arizona, but when I moved to California, I didn't get my license for California, but I am certified. Anyway, I learned different modalities, Swedish massage, reflexology. I learned trigger point therapy, cranial sacral therapy, sports massage, shiatsu, acupressure, which is one of my favorites now because now I like to work more on the energy body. Anyway, learned so many different modalities of massage. So I already knew that either I had some healing to do on my own self through massaging others, or I had to learn this for something. I wasn't thinking in terms of that. I just was really called to it, so I wanted to do it. So time went on, and you know, I did other things and stuff like that. But then I had my huge awakening. And so I was still a massage therapist, but when I had my huge awakening, something started shifting in me, and I started walking in the redwood trees. I lived up north for a while in Humboldt County, and there's a lot of redwood trees. They're the oldest trees in the whole world. And in these trees, there's a lot of energies, lots of energies, lots of different beings, beings from other dimensions, planets, the astral realm, ghosts, angels, light work, everything's there. Okay, there's a lot of energies up there. And so anyway, I was there, and I would walk every day in the redwood trees. And this is when I was going through my huge awakening, like feeling all these energies, feeling really out of sorts, like, oh my gosh, what am I doing on earth? Like, what is going on? Why can't I function in normal everyday life? And I would just walk in these trees, and I could feel their energy is so magical, the redwood trees. So when I was walking in these redwood trees, there was this being, this wizard being. I knew he was a wizard somehow. I didn't know. He told me his name, but I can't remember. I don't ever remember details like that. And his name was really long, and I think it started with like an M, and it was just like, who's this guy? So he would talk to me all the time. I felt comfortable talking to him. I felt like he was trying to give me information. And so he would tell me all the time. He would say, you're a healer and you're a teacher. And I was like, a healer and a teacher? Like, what does that mean? Like, I didn't understand, like, because when he would tell me what I was, I knew I liked to, like, maybe I was interested in those things and stuff, but the power and depth that he would tell me I was a healer and a teacher was just really interesting. I was like, whoa, I am? I never knew that. Like, what do I do with that information? And so he would like tell me other things and kind of help me along because I didn't have anybody. The internet wasn't like it is today, and I didn't have anybody to talk to because, you know, when you're going through this, like, not a lot of people listen to you or know what's going on, and that's why it's hard. So he also told me that this is going to sound weird, and this is why I'm wearing my rainbow shirt, that I had rainbow laser beams shooting from my fingertips. And I was like, oh my God, what? Rainbow laser beams shooting from my fingertips? So I remember I was in college at the time. I was just still, you know, learning things. And I think I was working and going to school. I don't remember. But I went to school and I told everybody, I said, oh, you'll never believe this. I have rainbow laser beams shooting from my fingertips. And everyone was like, okay, now I'm more mature and I'm older, and I'm like, well, why did I do that? You know, I used to do all kinds of, when I was learning all these things and these beings were speaking to me and stuff, I was like, I'm so excited. I'm like, you guys don't understand what this means. This is wonderful. Because I figured that it was just like happening so fast that it was just going to happen like tomorrow, because I saw the vision of like heaven on earth and what that looked like. And I was so excited by it all. I wanted everyone to realize that we were almost out of this, like living this way, in pain and suffering, and we have rainbows and everything's beautiful. So people were not having it. Now I realize things take time. There's a process for everything, and that was pretty silly of me. Anyway, so then I had a dream. This wizard guy was in my dream. He would come to me in my dreams and he would talk to me. Then I had a dream. He came to me in my, he lifted me up into the universe, and there was all stars around, okay, like stars far away, but he had me suspended up in space. And there's several times in my dreams where I was suspended up in space for different reasons, but in this particular dream, he moved me up into space and he spun me around. And as he spun me around, he spun me with this rainbow, this holographic rainbow energy. And he was just like flipping me around. Like, it was interesting, just flipping me around in this beautiful iridescent rainbow holographic sparkly dust. And he was telling me I was a healer and a teacher still. Like, he wanted me to really get that, because at the time I wasn't really healed myself, so there was no possible way I could be a teacher or a healer. Anyway, so I was like, whoa, this is really weird. Next thing that happened was I was, like I said, a massage therapist on the side. I was going to school and working like a regular job, and I had my 2 kids. So I was really busy. But my neighbor knew that I was a massage therapist, and I think she was actually a psychic, and I think she knew that I was a healer, but I wasn't ready to kind of step into it. I was a little bit scared. I didn't know what to do. All I knew how to do was massage. So she had a friend who had cancer, actually, and this woman had like her kidneys, something wrong with her kidneys. And so all I knew is that, like, she was almost near death. Like, she had these things in her stomach. And anyway, I couldn't massage her. All I could do was like energy healing, but I didn't know how to do that. And she's like, oh, I know someone who can heal you, my neighbor Angelica. And I was like freaked out because I couldn't believe she had told her that. So I went walking in the redwood trees, like, and then there was another being. Okay, not the wizard being that I would talk to, but there was another being that came to me and said, I can help you with this lady. I can help you heal her. I know you don't know energy healing naturally, so you can channel me through. This is the only time I've ever channeled any being, so just so you know, I don't like channeling because you learn these things naturally on your own, so you don't need to channel. But this being asked me if he could channel through me so that I could do this work. And looking back, I may have done it. I don't know. But I did it this time because I was so scared and I wanted her to be okay. So she came into the house. We did the session. She laid there, and I just, all of a sudden, my hands started moving around her body. And I knew exactly, because this being was channeling, I knew exactly what to do. And I did all these healing things for a long time. And I felt like I knew what I was doing. Then she got up and she sat on the couch and just emotion just started telling me everything about her life story, all the things that hurt her, all the just getting it out. Now, my window was cracked open in the kitchen. After she had gotten off the table and sat on the couch, I heard my kitchen window, I could crack it open and it would never like shut by itself. But it was weird. I felt the being, like I wasn't channeling the being anymore. And the being flew out the kitchen window and the window slammed shut. It was so weird, like when she sat down. And so there was just me and her doing the counseling thing. Then everything was fine, and then she left. So right after she left, I fell asleep. And I can't remember. I guess my kids must have been with my mom or something at the time, because I remember I fell asleep and I passed out for like, I don't even know how long. Hours and hours and hours, because I was so drained from channeling. That's why you don't really want to channel, because once you're on the spiritual path long enough, you realize that you have all these gifts within you, but they take a while to cultivate. They take a while to come to terms with. So this was just the beginning of me learning how to heal energetically. Okay. And I did not learn Reiki. I don't need to learn Reiki. I already know my gifts, but I know them now, but I didn't still then. So there was a few other things that had to happen before I was downloaded with all these spiritual energetic healing abilities. So after that, I would drive from Humboldt to Santa Rosa, where I live now. And that's like a 4-hour drive, 5-hour drive. It's a long drive, but I would drive back and forth because my mom lived in Santa Rosa and I lived up there. So I was always just driving back and forth. Well, there was this one exit called Phillipsville exit, and Phillipsville has the largest trees in the whole world, the redwood trees. They're the oldest trees. Have you ever seen like online where there's like a tree where you can drive through it? Well, that's in Phillipsville. And so I pass Phillipsville all the time, and on 3 different occasions, this is the weird part. If it hasn't already freaked you out, this is the real freaky part. I knew there was aliens there because not only had I heard people say like around Garbersville there was aliens, I could see them. I could see them. It was like people were really strange over in that area. But Phillipsville is a place where there's just nothing there but trees. On 3 different occasions, when I was going back and forth, my car would literally shut off, like just shut off, and I would have to coast into the exit of Phillipsville. And it was like you could just coast right in, and there's nothing there. This is the middle of nowhere. So you just coast right in, and then I would just go right over to the right. It's like I already knew what was going to happen, because something in our subconscious mind, something about, you know, this stuff, we already know on a soul level, so we don't have to analyze it. Although my mind was always scared, because my mind was like, okay, there's aliens here, and I know that they want me to be here right now, and I have to take down these like downloads or whatever the heck it was. So my car just would shut down, because like the aliens had some kind of technology. Okay, this is going to sound really strange. This is why I don't talk about this stuff. But if you've gone through anything really weird, this will make you feel more at ease. Because now I'm grounded, normal, and no aliens or beings can come around me. But these were actually helpful. They helped me to establish my healing abilities. So it's okay if things like this, there is other dimensions, there's other things going on, and you can feel okay about these things. So I would just coast right in, and I would sit there for a second. I'm like, okay, there's aliens here. And I'm like, oh my gosh, okay. Well, I don't know if I put myself to sleep or something put me to sleep, but I would fall asleep within 1 minute, because I knew that I just had to go to sleep. And I'd fall asleep, and then I wake up just fine. My car start right up, and I would just leave. It's almost like I knew I had to be there 3 different times in that same spot in order to get some kind of thing. And I did not, it's not like I was awake when any of this happened, but I could feel like what was going on, even though I couldn't. I was being downloaded with information. So anyway, or whatever was happening. I don't really know if that's exactly what was happening. But on the 3rd time when it happened, I woke up and I had, so if anybody knows about any of this, please let me know, because this is all just what happened. So I don't know if this, if you have any, if there's anything familiar about this story to you. I've also had many dreams about like UFOs and sending this amazing, beautiful energy through to Earth. So aliens are really good. Most of them. Not all of them, but the ones that I talk to and relate to are really, 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 they're loving beyond loving. But the 3rd time I had to coast in there, I looked at my hand, and there was like right here on my thumb, like right here, okay, was a triangle. And it wasn't a triangle, but it was like 3 dots. 1 dot here, 1 dot there, 1 dot there. And they were really far. They weren't that far apart from each other, but there was like 1 dot, 1 dot, 1 dot. So they were somewhat close to each other. So when I woke up and I saw that triangle there, I was like, oh my God. Like, my rational brain, because you have to understand where I was at. I was at a place where all this spiritual stuff started happening to me, and I was freaking out, pretty much. This was not, like, easy for me. So I looked at that, and I was like, okay, that has to be a spider bite or something. Like, what the heck? I'm like, why would it be a triangle, though? Like, why would it be 3 little dots like that? And so anyway, that's what happened. They left some kind of triangle thing on my hand. It's not there anymore. But anyway, but something else interesting that happened during my spiritual awakening. I have a tiny blood vessel right here on my 3rd eye that if you look, you can't see it in the video because it's so small, but it's a tiny little blood vessel right here on my 3rd eye that popped when I was going through my awakening. My awakening was really intense. It wasn't like a slow, subtle thing. It was like, bam, it was huge. So anyway, that's why I like to stay balanced now, because I don't ever want to go that high again or that low again. I just want to be in the middle. I want to be balanced. So now I have developed through these experiences, this is how I've developed what I do in my energy healing. I am a healer, and if you are a healer, you may notice some similarities with healers are oftentimes healers have had to go through very traumatic childhoods, traumatic experiences in life, so that they could actually feel the pain of people to be able to heal them. Because if you don't relate to someone's pain, if you can't feel it in your body, like, or in your energy field as if it were happening to you, then you have no basis to really feel compassion and heal. So oftentimes, if you are a really good healer, you have gone through trauma yourself, kind of like the wounded healer, right? Like Chiron, the wounded healer. So anyway, I do energy healing, and I do it at a distance because time is holographic. So I've actually been able to do that even before I went through these weird experiences. I could close my eyes, and I could, since I was never really in my body, I could travel to people and I could be with them. But I do it best in meditation or right before sleep, like when I'm in an alpha state, when my logical mind is cut off, then I can see someone's whole energetic body. I can see if they're more, if their soul is more in their actual body or kind of split off from it. People will tell me things when I'm in meditation about what's going on for them. I check all the chakras and I see exactly how they're aligning, like which ones are out of alignment, which ones are not. And if any of the chakras are off balance, then the whole chakra system is going to be off balance. So it's good to know which chakras are not operating at their highest capacity so that you can get those healed through different techniques. And you can go on my website to see, to read some articles about how to heal certain chakras and stuff like that. Now, my new website, I'm still working on. I've been writing a lot for it. I also wanted to let you guys know that, yes, even though I do energy healing sessions right now, I'm going to be really shifting a lot of like the work that I do in the coming few months, where I'm only going to be doing like packages of sessions and healing sessions for people that really want to work closely with me one-on-one for a length of time. So I'm going to start doing, if you feel like you need that kind of help and support and you really want to move into working your mission, because my mission is to help people get in alignment so that they can do their mission. So if you need to start your spiritual business, get yourself in alignment and start moving forward so you can actually do the work, then those are the people that I really want to focus on, because my schedule's been getting so busy that I don't have time to work just individually and do healing sessions for people all the time anymore. I just have to really refine what I'm doing. I'm going to start doing courses and classes, and that's all a whole new thing that I've been working on. And I have Circle for Awakening still, so if you want to, talk with other like-minded people, and I go in there and I see what everybody's talking about. We have a Q&A, we have live calls. Anyway, I'm just changing my actual individual sessions soon. So if you have ever wanted to get a session with me, now's the time to do it, because I'm going to be phasing out of that individual work. I don't find it's very effective to work with people, in the way that I've been working with them. It is effective. It can be effective. I just don't really have the time for that. So I have to really condense and focus in on what I'm actually good at, which is healing and teaching. Like, that's what I do. So anyway, I love you so much. I hope the stories that I told you today were not too strange. But I felt it would be good for you to understand that these things do happen. And after you come out of the really sensitive, like everything, whoa, you're getting bombarded with all this stuff, you get balance and you become just who you are. You don't need to communicate with any beings or anything. And you are just you, and you are in your fullness, and any answers that you need, you just know them. It's amazing, and that's where all of you are heading. You're heading to that balanced place, but before that happens, you have to completely surrender and let go of everything else. And it will seem as if you know, those things aren't really happening, and it's like really hard. And I understand that, and I really, really, I love you all, and I want you all to be living your mission and to be doing this work as well, which I know you will be, because if you are going through an awakening, you have a special purpose and a special mission. So I love you, and I hope you guys have a great day.